Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of HeartSlayers, the first HeartSlayers of 2018. New year, new you. Or maybe it's the same you, same old problems, and you need to call up the HeartSlayers to get it all sorted out. We're here today talking to people about all sorts of relationship issues. My name's Derrick Acosta.
And I'm Meg Turner.
Yeah, we're the hosts. We might as well introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Without any further ado, let's get it started. Hey, everybody. All right, we're back here with Tyler. Tyler, you may remember, called in last week. There was a girl he had met. He invited her to go to a one-day convention, but she was already going with her friends. I gave Tyler the advice to talk to this girl on December 27th specifically and ask her to go bowling. Welcome back, Tyler.
Thanks for getting my call, guys.
Yeah, no problem. So, did you follow the advice? Did you do December 27th and bowling?
Yes, to the letter. I did the 27th. She did text me, I think like an hour later. Should I read the text message? Would that help?
That's up to you.
If you want. Let me see. 'Cause I think it just adds context and everything. Maybe I'll give a... Oh, shit. Sorry. So yeah, basically I said, like, you want to go bowling, and then she said, oh, well, I'm not much into bowling. I still want to do tea if you're down. I'm kind of busy after, right now, but after the 3rd, if you're still down for the getting tea, whatever, together, if you want. I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that.
So that's where it left off then, huh?
Yeah. And then we talked about, how was your Christmas and all that, and then it kind of ended after that.
Okay. Well, it's
not bad news.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not bad
I know.
news. Sounds like she asked you out on a date, and the 3rd is when it's going to be.
Well, she said after the 3rd. I actually, when that's not on the 3rd apparently. The actual wording, she said, I have a bunch of schoolwork, need to finish it by the 3rd, and then past that, I guess she'd be free or more free.
Okay, so Meg, let me ask you what you think. Should he wait for her to contact him, or should he reach out after the 3rd? He's already reached out 2 times already.
Yeah.
What I think you should do is give it a couple days after the 3rd.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe be like, hey, like, just checking in, seeing if you still wanted to go do whatever you guys had talked about. Because I think hitting her up on the 3rd would be a little too desperate. But yeah, maybe after the 3rd, unless she hits you up and just says, hey, like, I'm free whenever, do you want to plan something?
Should he do that, or should he go like, hey, it's tea time?
I don't know.
If you were a girl in this situation, would you respond better to, hey, it's after the 3rd, just checking in if you want to get that tea, or January 5th, you get a text, hey, it's tea time?
When you put it that way, because at first I was like, no, that sounds a little too desperate. Like, why are you so, like, whatever. But, when you're that assertive, it's kind of hard to say no.
Wow, okay, well.
So, but I don't know what type of person you are if you're that assertive.
Tyler, if I were you, I would be starting to move on from wanting to hang out with this girl.
When somebody gives so many excuses over and over again, it's like they're trying to put you down gently.
Yeah. I think the best thing you can do is emotionally kind of toughen up and give her one last kind of, I don't care, but this is your last chance to hang out with me opportunity for her. I think at this point, you are bordering on the dangerous side of coming off as too desperate or just
that's my big
too
concern.
into her.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't want to fall into that category. So I think very flippant, very kind of
pushy.
Not pushy, but just you want to make it clear, like you're not banking on this girl being your girlfriend or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say maybe wait for her to contact you, or give her one very non-committal.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing this.
Hey, it's tea time.
In like 10 minutes.
And if it doesn't work
It's
out,
tea time.
then you gotta cut the rope and sail off to a better harbor.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's pretty much everybody in my life is kind of saying, just kind of move on and just forget it. So,
Yeah, I mean, we definitely appreciate all the updates in the ongoing saga. I definitely feel like maybe tea will happen, and if it does, please, let us know. I want to see. I want the
if anything
conclusion
happens,
of this story. Yeah. So it sounds like bowling didn't work out, but at least you got contact.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
like
something.
so she says she wants to do something with you. So let's
Yeah,
just get in
but
touch with herself and just word vomiting.
yeah, could be the case, but I don't know until after the 3rd, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's coming up right around the corner, so you should know by this weekend, basically.
Hopefully, yeah. Interested.
Jury's still out on that one.
I know.
Maybe yes,
Yeah.
maybe no.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, please keep us updated, and thanks for the call, and maybe we'll talk to you next time. All right, we're going to take an email now. This email comes from E, and it reads, Dear HeartSlayers, have you guys ever been in a relationship where you shared little in common with the other person? I recently fell out of a relationship where I was paired with a girl from my best friend's girlfriend's friend group. Turns out I knew her from elementary school. I recognized her name and thought, oh, I remember being friends with her. I was debating even going forward with meeting her until my friend's girlfriend mentioned the girl was really into anime. Nice. Okay. She also liked tattoos, which I thought would be a good icebreaker since I have a couple. Long story short, she liked tattoos because her parents hated them.
Oh.
And she used to watch anime in middle school, but not anymore. What was never a well-established relationship ended after about 6 months, and the whole time I felt like I was struggling to relate to her. Being with somebody that long and sharing little hobbies is pretty exhausting. Despite great efforts from both sides, her transferring to a further away college had sealed the deal. Has something like this ever happened to you? Thank you, guys. Love the show. E. So, ever dated somebody that you had nothing in common with?
No.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was awful. It was exactly what this guy describes. Very exhausting hanging out with somebody when you have nothing in common with them.
What do you even talk about? I can't even imagine attempting a relationship with somebody.
That was the problem. See, for me, I've actually been in a couple bad relationships. One of them, I had a girlfriend. We had everything in common hobby-wise. We liked the same music, same movies, same TV shows. She hated all my friends.
Oh.
Which I feel like is, the flip side of the same sort of situation, the other side of the coin, but the same problem. Mm-hmm. I couldn't take her anywhere, to any group setting. We couldn't go to any party because it would just always be like, why do you hang out with these people? And it's like, well, all right, so we don't have a friends group in common.
Yeah. I have had that.
Okay, that's kind of the same thing. Yeah. And then I've had the other kind of relationship where the girl loved all my friends, but personally, when we were hanging out, we couldn't share anything because we didn't like the same movies, we didn't like the same TV shows, we didn't like the same music, and it was always like a struggle to find something to do.
Yeah.
Usually, I would just let her pick. I'd be like, watch whatever show you want, and then I'd just be sitting there quietly like, dear God. When is this going to be over?
That is never a good sign.
I hope she doesn't want to talk to me about this when it's done because I have nothing nice to say about this. And that relationship was actually a lot shorter. So I find that, not having stuff in common with somebody is almost a definite deal breaker.
Oh, absolutely. Because I just can't imagine what do you do all day long with this person. What do you talk about?
Nothing.
And where's the relationship?
Yeah, you pretty much in those relationships, you're just dating each other because, well, one of two reasons. You find the person extremely attractive,
right?
And you're like, I don't care. I'll watch turd movies all day. Look, she's hot. Or even worse, you're just desperate, and it's like, I don't want to be alone, So I will suffer through anything to be with a girl, which in both situations is...
You typically end up alone.
It's not healthy, yeah. So what I learned from those relationships, and maybe everybody watching can take this away from it, is the other person being hot should not be at the top of the list of why you're dating the person.
No.
They should be, in this order, really nice.
Yeah.
They like you and they like your friends.
Yes.
And number 2, you guys have some stuff in common.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like you connect on a intellectual level.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And then number 3, they're really hot. You
fair.
think they're good looking. In that order, I think is
Yeah.
the checklist for the person you date.
Yeah. There needs to be more than just physical attraction.
Yeah, definitely. And I really hand it to this viewer for sticking it out for 6 months. That's a long time
I
for...
wouldn't handle like 6 days.
Yeah, 6 months for a girl that doesn't watch anime? Come on, what were you doing for 6 months?
Thinking?
Jeez Louise. So, thanks for the email, and hope the checklist helps. And, yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thanks. All right, we're going to do another email here. This one comes from Jay, and it reads, HeartSlayers, I am 25 years old. I'm currently in my first real relationship I've ever had. Last 8 months have been fantastic. We get along so well. Our relationship developed really quickly, with us already talking about living together, joking about marriage and kids, and meeting the family. All my friends are telling me I'm going too fast, but this relationship feels so right to me. My question is there really such a thing as going too fast? And if there is, how can you slow down? Thanks in advance, Jay. Okay.
What do you feel about that?
Is there really such a thing as going too fast?
Yes and no. I think there is, in a sense, where you might be too immature and rushing things.
Yeah.
But in other cases, my parents got married after knowing each other for 6 months. And they're still together.
Wow.
So
these guys have actually been dating longer than your parents. Wow, 6 months.
6 months.
I guess when you know, you know.
Yeah.
What's funny to me about this email is Jay is worried about going too fast, but also writes they are joking about meeting each other's family. After 8 months, you haven't met each other's family.
Yeah. Well, then again, maybe their families are out of state.
Yeah, maybe they live far away. But if the family lives in the same city, which is usually the case, after like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, no, it's normal.
Yeah, normal to meet the family.
But joking about getting married and having kids
after
is
8
different.
months. How funny is that joke? You know, that's what it depends on to me. Is it like, man, this is a great inside joke. We laugh so much. Or it's like, you keep saying that and I don't know if you're serious. If it's that kind of joke.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it from Jay's email.
No.
I definitely think there is such a thing as going too fast, but it only concerns the people who are in the relationship.
Right.
You dictate your level of comfort in your own relationship.
Yeah.
If you're loving it and you're really into the person, who cares what your friends say
it's none
or
of their
think?
business, realistically.
What? Yeah, honestly, what I'm wondering is, what is your friend's problem? Are they just jealous that you're not coming around anymore? Oh, you're talking about moving in with your girlfriend? I think you guys are moving too fast. You've only been dating for almost a year.
Yeah.
8 months, I think, is...
It'd be one thing if it was 1 month. I think that's a little extreme.
Yeah.
But 8 months.
After 8 months, I think you can tell if you would like living with somebody or not.
Exactly.
So just based on the information you sent, Jay, it doesn't sound like you're moving too fast to us.
No, it'd be like if you're showing any concern or worry, then I'd say maybe pull it back a little bit. But since it's been great.
Yeah, I think your friends should be happy for you. Maybe they feel like they're not hanging out with you as much as they like. So invite them over to hang out sometimes with you and your girlfriend. But I think you are right on track for a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And you have my blessing to move forward. After the 8 month mark, it's okay to talk about moving in with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's cool. And apparently, if you're Meg's parents, after 6 months, you can get married.
Yeah, so good luck. Maybe that'll happen. Who knows?
Yeah. Thanks for the email. Keep us updated. All right, everybody, we're back here with Adali. Adali, what's up?
Nothing much. How's it going?
Going good. You're here with the HeartSlayers, Derrick and Meg, and what did you want to talk about?
I just had a question about a girl that I knew in high school. This was like 2 years ago, and I kind of liked her. She was really cool. She was really like, quiet and stuff, and kind of shy. And we talked a little bit, but it wasn't ever like serious conversations. It was just kind of like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And some time has passed, and I was just wondering how I would go about talking to her when we don't really have any contact.
Oh, okay. So how long has it been since you talked to this girl?
My senior year of high school, so like 2 years now, almost.
2 years. She was really cool. And what made you think of this girl after 2 years?
Facebook recommendation as a friend. Funny enough. Yeah.
Okay. Did you send her a friend's request?
No, I didn't. I just like, hey, I remember you. You were really cool.
Did you?
And I thought about it.
Oh, okay. But you haven't messaged her or anything?
No, nothing like that yet.
Oh, all right.
I think that would be like the point of action.
Yeah, Facebook served you up on this one. This is going to be easy. Send her a friend request. If she accepts it, just say like, hey, what's up?
Like, what you been
Okay.
up to?
Yeah, what you been up to lately?
Something like that.
Yeah, I had friends from high school that did that to me recently, and I haven't been in high school like forever.
Yeah.
So, it's not weird.
As much as people hate on Facebook, it actually is a remarkable tool for getting in touch with people and talking to people that you have a crush on. Facebook is like one of the main things for facilitating that. So I feel like you can have somebody on your friends list and out of nowhere just send them a message, be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
And
I have friends from elementary school that do that to me sometimes, and it's super weird, but it's also kind of cool.
Every once in a while, do you like think it's cool, like somebody interesting comes along?
Yeah, it's like, oh, like cool, like I must have been on their mind or something. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
And you say you got along with this girl. You used to talk a lot in school, right?
A little bit, yeah. Not like a whole bunch, but
I definitely recommend just taking the plunge, sending the friend's request, and then if it gets accepted, just strike up a conversation with her. And see what happens. Many relationships have been started with the hey, what's up?
Sliding into those DMs.
On Facebook. Exactly. So don't be afraid. It's super common these days.
cool. Because I've never done that before, just out of nowhere. Be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It's easy to like somebody when you think they like you.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to remember that. Like, if a girl started giving you all the signs, like she has a crush on you, suddenly you'd be like, maybe I like this girl. It goes both ways. You got to find a subtle, tasteful way to let somebody know that you're interested in them.
Yeah.
And then, that's the only way they're going to reciprocate it. Not always. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, not interested. But every once in a while, I'll be like, oh, okay, nice. Attention. Oh, yes.
It's nice.
I remember Adali. Cool. He's still thinking about me.
Yeah, I looked a lot different back then. I was like a hippie kid. Now I have a full-time job and like.
Oh, okay, cool. So maybe she'll like the new Adali even better. Like, oh wow, he really cleaned up. I'm into it.
Yeah, but that was kind of the whole. That was the question.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah. Hit her up and good luck. And
let us know how it goes.
Yeah, we'll be rooting for you.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call. Okay, time for one more email, and this one is from an anonymous emailer, and it says, "Dear HeartSlayers, I've been seeing this girl for almost 2 now. 2 years, 2 months. The email doesn't say. Just 2. 2 days, 2 hours. We don't really see each other more than once a week due to distance. Recently we met up, and I didn't feel the spark that was once there. She seems to be growing more enamored with me, though. I can't tell if I'm just hitting a low point in attitude or chemistry, or if we aren't entirely compatible. Feels like the longer it goes on, the more it will hurt her if I do break it off. I don't want to hurt her at all. But at the same time, I'm worried I could be making a pretty big decision based on a temporary feeling. I appreciate your show, and I love what you're trying to do. Thanks." Okay, so sees the person about, what'd they say, once a week?
Once a week. Yeah.
The last time they saw their girlfriend, she's more into the relationship than ever, and this guy is like, not feeling it so much. I always wish people would call in when it's hard to get all the information.
Questions.
Yeah, from these emails. There's so many follow-up questions, like what were you guys doing? Was there something she did, or was it just the moment you saw her? It's just like, oh, this girl again.
Oh man. And for only once a week, that's not very often to see somebody that you're dating.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely think part of being in a relationship is spending time together. It's like the main thing. This is why on this show I'm constantly bashing long distance relationships.
Yeah.
The whole thing about having a relationship with somebody is just spending time together. And a lot of times it's just sitting in the same room, enjoying each other's company silently.
Exactly.
You know? Just literally being close to one another. So when you have a long distance relationship, it puts a lot of pressure on those moments where you do get together, because it's like, oh, we got to get all of our relationship stuff in right now before I leave again.
Yeah.
So I could see why that gets tedious. I've been in a long distance relationship, and I kind of felt that tedious feeling every day when I'd have to do a call.
Yeah.
Have to do a call.
Yeah. I need to schedule my call.
Is how I describe it. It's like going to work. It's like, my girlfriend she got home. I know her schedule. I better punch in and do the old FaceTime thing for 2 to 4 hours. Hi, what'd you do today? Nothing. And I already talked to you for 4 hours yesterday about how I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And it just gets old.
Boring.
Yeah. So I definitely see where you're coming from. I think it's commendable to understand, like, wow, she really likes me. If I keep going and I'm not feeling it, it's really going to hurt her. But it's better, I think, to hurt the person now and not put it off till the longer you put it off, the more it's going to sting.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. It's kind of the only situations where it's like that, but it's when you definitely know it's going to hurt, it doesn't hurt less later on. It hurts more.
Oh my God, yeah.
So you just kind of have to suck it up, and the moment you feel like you don't want to be in the relationship or that you aren't communicating openly with the other person, you need to sit down and talk with them.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think you could probably have this conversation now. Like, hey, I'm not sure what I'm doing about this relationship. Maybe you need to see her more often, or maybe she is actually feeling the same way and you're miscommunicating it. I don't know. I
definitely think the amount that they're seeing each other is a major issue here. And so they either need to go one way or the other. See each other more often or see each other less often.
Yeah.
Either make it, hey, 2 or 3 days next week we should hang out, or take a break. Be like, you know what? Let's take a week off, and and then if the week after that, if you're not missing her, then you need to have a second conversation. Yeah, and it's gonna suck, but you got to do what's right for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 1 day a week is not working out. So I would try more than 1 day a week first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang out. Yeah, multiple times next week, and if you're still feeling the way you're feeling now, then take a break for a week.
Yeah, and that doesn't even mean you have to like break up with her immediately.
No.
But just
shake it up a little bit.
Take a little time off.
Yeah, you're tired with the routine as it is, so try something new.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the call. Good luck. All right, everybody, we're back here with Jack. Jack, you're here with the HeartSlayers. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, hey Derek, first time caller. So just over the years, I've dated a lot of different women, and it just seems like I always get that sort of like middle ground with like common interests, but I can never find someone who I just really like click with, you know, like we like the same kind of things.
Okay.
I was just curious if you had like sort of advice for how to like look for that sort of stuff.
All right. Yeah, we've had a lot of people today talking about this issue, not having stuff in common with the people they're dating.
Because I've dated so many different kinds of girls, and we kind of meet halfway, similar sense of humor, similar interest.
Really?
But
how many girls have you dated, would you say?
I'm 23. I've dated about 4 or 5. Each one lasted about a year.
Okay. That's pretty good.
And it just seems like I think I know like what to look for, but it just seems like sometimes I just kind of skimp on something.
What do you mean? What do you skimp on as far as finding somebody with something in common?
Just like I don't know, just I don't know if it's like personality or can't really put the word on it.
How are you meeting these girls?
College, high school.
Okay.
Just like passing them in the hall, like sitting in next to them in class and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. What was the worst case scenario? Like, was there one girl that really just was like, oh man, we have nothing in common? Like,
Oh
when did
yeah,
you start realizing you had this issue?
Well, it seems like every time I latch on to one thing. The first girl, we love the same kind of comedy shows. You know, she likes some basic sort of stuff like Animal Crossing and stuff. And then it's just like once you get beyond that, you start thinking, oh, this girl likes some things I do, so we'll connect it with among other things. But it just seems like after a while, it kind of dissipates.
Okay. And then how recently was your last relationship?
6 months ago was when it ended.
And was that the Animal Crossing girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
How'd you know?
So when you
It
were
just
meeting
seems like everybody. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
It just seems like every couple plays Animal Crossing for some reason.
That is funny. That does seem to be the thing. Let me ask you, what do you look for in a girl? Like when you start hanging out with a girl and you think like, oh, I really like her. What do you typically like? Do you have anything you're looking for in somebody you want to date?
Just generally somebody who I have a lot of common, like not a lot, but like somebody I can talk to and it never really gets old. With a lot of girls I've dated over a while, it seems like we kind of run out of things to talk about. Or you're sitting there and it goes well for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then you both just kind of sit there kind of quiet.
Right.
And I'm a pretty like extroverted person. I like meeting people. I like talking to people. But it just seems like I kind of hit a wall when it comes to talking about like stuff that we both like.
Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like you have any problem meeting girls and finding dates, so that's good. I think that you are at a stage. There's kind of different stages of the guy as he evolves into the ultimate catch.
Oh, yeah?
And you're definitely, the first stage is just getting a girl to like you and finding, going through the process of getting a girlfriend is such a hurdle that you don't even worry about whether the girlfriend is good for you or not. You just want the girlfriend. You're past that stage. You've had many girlfriends. You have no problem talking to girls, getting a girl to go on a date with you. That's great. Now you're at the stage where you can start being a little bit more discerning about the type of girl that you want to date. So I would say you could start actually visualizing the type of girl that you want out there.
Right.
I've been single in the past. I have a wonderful girlfriend now, but there was long stretches where I went single. And before I met the person I'm with now, I would kind of visualize the girl I wanted to be. And I always like to believe or tell myself, and maybe I was lying to myself, but I'd like to tell myself the perfect girl is out there somewhere. The girl that is just the perfect match for me is out there somewhere, and I'm looking for her, and I'm sure she's looking for me too.
Yeah.
Because, in my weird metaphysical manifestation thoughts, I would think like, my soulmate's out there, and we're soulmates because I'm right for her and she's right for me, and we're just in the process of searching for each other. And
I feel like that's how everybody should be.
Yeah, and so you just have to kind of visualize what it is you are looking for in a person, and when you know that really well, then you'll start to recognize the people that'll be a good match for you.
Yeah, and there's no problem with being picky about it either.
No, definitely not. Especially when you, like I said, Jack, are at your stage where you have no problem getting a girl. Now you have the problem of I'm dating girls that aren't right for me. So you want to fix that. I've been there too. For me, for a while, and I kind of mentioned this in a previous talk today, but I dated a lot of girls who didn't like my friends, and they were kind of mean and bitchy about it.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Yeah, so for me, it was really important that, seriously, the person I'm dating has to be a nice person. That is really important to me.
Number one.
Yeah, the person has to kind of want to do something with their life. I've also dated the girl where every day I go to work and she's on the sofa, and then I come home and she's still on the sofa.
Yeah.
And
I've had that.
yeah, and it's like, it's just kind of boring.
Why?
You got to have somebody with like a drive to do something with their life.
So they've got to be nice. They've got to have some ambition in their life. And then number 3, got to have stuff in common with me.
Yeah.
Which I guess is your issue, but it's more important, I think, like, to have personality traits in mind that you're looking for. Not so much like, oh, this girl likes Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because you can share things with people.
Exactly. Like, you always learn to adapt to what your partner likes too, and
Yeah.
they'll introduce.
Well, it's boring if you both like everything of the same thing. Everyone should bring something unique and new to the table. With me, it's just like not enough of like certain similar interests, because I think it's great to meet someone with different interests, because you got to get to know them as a person and know what they like too, or else it'll be boring.
Right.
Have you tried just introducing the stuff you like to these girls and trying to develop a similar interest with them?
I have, and I try to, like, obviously not everything you like they're gonna like.
Yeah.
But it just seems like it's just like most girls I've dated, they're like, oh yeah, that's nice, that's cool that you like that, and then it's just kind of like, but I don't really care. They're just being polite.
Oh, huh. Well, you know what? You're still pretty young, honestly, and the whole point of dating, I think, the purpose of dating is to find the person that you really connect with. Maybe find the person that you want to get married to. So it's a process of getting to know somebody, and you find out more about them and you like them more, and you find out more about them and you like them more. Mm-hmm. But eventually you either hit a point where it's like, okay, you're perfect for me, or you learn enough about them to learn you're not the one for me, and then you break up and you go back to the dating scene. Like, that's the whole point of dating.
Yeah, and it's come along. I just kind of wanted an outside opinion on it, and you see this podcast has been pretty cool so far. So.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I definitely think, like I said, you're in a position where you can start developing a mental picture of the next person you want to date and be a little bit more discerning with your potential dates. Like, have that checklist and like, oh, this person's not ambitious enough for me. Oh, this person doesn't like the same things I like, to the point where I feel I want to be in a relationship with them. I feel like it's okay to stay single and to kind of be a little bit more picky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've come to, is that I'm just gonna kind of stay single for a while.
It's funny, whenever somebody says I'm gonna stay single for a while, they're usually dating somebody in like 2 months. Like, that's how the world works. When you really want to date somebody, it's the relationship desert, total dry spell.
Yeah.
And then when you're like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna do me, suddenly everybody's like, that guy's really interesting.
It's when you stop searching for it, I guess.
Exactly. So just put it on the back burner, don't worry about it so much, and visualize the girl.
Somebody will come along that will be really interesting, and you'll be like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, they'll fit your picture, and you'll be really happy.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks for the call, Jack. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Derek. Keep going on.
Yeah, thanks. And Meg.
I'm here.
Oh, and Meg, I'm sorry. You too, Meg.
It's all good. Take care, man. See ya.
See you guys.
Okay, we have another email here. This one is a long story, so let's get into it. Hello, HeartSlayers. So I've never dated before. The past year or so, it's been really getting to me. It's been sort of driving me insane. I used to not really care when I was in school because I was fat and insecure, so I didn't even bother. Now I'm 19, I lost a lot of weight, so I felt like I need to try and put myself out there. I had a failed online long-distance relationship with a girl for a few months, and it was pretty brutal. I won't go into details, but it's pretty mentally exhausting / abusive. As the first experience with a girl, it was really terrible. I met another girl online a few months afterwards. We would flirt with each other quite a bit. I really liked her, so I decided to confess my feelings to her. She didn't feel the same way. It really confused me. I wasn't angry. I fully respect her feelings, but we talked and flirted quite a bit, so I thought she liked me. So then I decided to create a Tinder. I found a cute girl who shared some similar interests with me, and by the third day of knowing each other, she was already sending me a picture of her butt and a boob or two.
Or two.
2 boobs.
2 boobs.
Nice. So I thought she liked me. I decided to ask her out. Plans fell through because of transportation. This happened twice in a row. Then I asked her out 2 more times. She said she was busy, and I took this as her telling me to go away. She continued to flirt with me, though, so I asked her out again a week or 2 later. She gave me a weird response, so I decided to stop talking to her, as it was a waste of time. I thought she liked me, but I guess not, which is fine, but again, I'm just confused. All of these experiences have made me even more shy, insecure, and self-conscious. It's really starting to affect my behavior. I've never been this down in the dumps in my life. It's made me start being hypercritical of myself, especially with my body and the way I look. I wish I could go back to not caring about this stuff, but I feel like the clock is ticking. I'm 19, and have basically zero experience with this stuff. What can I do to get over this and forget about girls/dating? Or what should I do differently when it comes to dating? Thanks, B. All right. Well, you came to the right spot, my friend. Let me start off by saying 19 is not the clock ticking, okay?
No.
The clock is just getting wound up at 19.
Yeah.
And I want to congratulate you for losing a lot of weight. That seems to be a typical trend. You know,
Yeah.
that happened to me. I was 240 pounds my sophomore year of high school.
Really?
Yes. And by my freshman year of college, or sophomore year of college, around there, I was down to like 160.
Wow.
So, well, I lost 80 pounds. And I feel like a lot of chubby guys in high school go through the same thing of like, yo, I just suddenly realized how bad my diet was, and now I want to get skinny. And
Yeah.
you remind me a lot of myself too, because being a fat kid, I've always had body issues and worried about that stuff because I dealt with it for so long.
Yeah.
So especially at 19, now that I'm older, I don't care so much. I've gotten more confident, more comfortable in my skin, and more
Yeah.
confident. But you know, it's totally natural to feel the way you do. When I was reading your email, I think the reason I'm bringing all this up is because reading your email and hearing that you're getting down in the dumps and you're being hypercritical of yourself, I think that working on yourself is the best thing you can do to fight that. Whenever you start to feel that way, like, not that you need to go to the gym, but going to the gym helps combat that stuff. If you're just, honestly, if you're a guy and you're just working out and taking care of yourself, it makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that girls are going to start flocking to you.
Right.
You could still have the same issues,
Yeah.
but definitely, like, being confident and loving yourself and just being happy with yourself goes a long way.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, to like fighting off that down in the dumps feeling. And people can tell when you kind of have this confidence and this good feeling about yourself.
Right.
It's very attractive.
If you're ever not happy with yourself, like, you could easily change that.
Yeah.
So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2, I think that girl from Tinder was looking for a hookup anyway. She was sending the butt and a boob or two.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too torn up about that because I'm sure she was nice, but I'm also sure she was looking for a hookup.
Yeah, and especially when you're 19, like, everybody's flirty, but you're still really young. I know you feel like you're an adult. Technically you are. I remember at 19 feeling like I pretty much got my life figured out, and if I could just stay on this trajectory for the next 60 years, I'll have a good life. But you don't have it figured out.
No.
You still learn so much, and when you're 20, when you're 21, when you're 22, those are going to be revolutionary ages for you.
Oh, you change every single year.
Yeah, and by the time you're 22, the person you are right now at 19 is going to seem so different and so long forgotten. So don't worry about it. You know, life is a journey, and some people have relationships at this age. Some people don't. You know, we've had a lot of people on this show who tell us, I'm going into my 30s and I've never had a relationship.
Yeah.
So everybody has to figure it out for themselves. Which again is why I come back to just work on yourself. Try to do things you like, do things that make you happy, do things that make you feel good, and try to be smart. Do things that you know are going to make you a better person.
Exactly, because the way that I feel about it is there's one person in your life who you're stuck with forever, and it's yourself. And if you don't like yourself, that's a big issue.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
And also true, just try to force yourself out of don't let yourself slide into this feeling, because it's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
When you start becoming critical of yourself, it doesn't lead to a place of happiness. You kind of need to put the brakes on that and say, like, I need to not be so hard on myself.
Yeah.
Be forgiving to yourself. Stay positive towards yourself, and you will see that things become better.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, force yourself not to be sad. I know that's bad advice.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's an ongoing battle. I think everybody who's ever dealt with this will tell you that, it's a struggle, and once you get down to a point where you're so low, it's really hard to come back for it. So
yeah, and dating a girl is not going to make you any happier than you currently are, because it might provide some temporary happiness, but there's still some underlying issues there.
Yeah, like Meg said, you'll still be stuck with yourself at the end of the day, and if you don't like yourself, a girl is not going to change that. So congratulations on losing a ton of weight. That's really cool. Don't forget, like, all the work you've done so far to become the person you are, and all the great things you've accomplished. And what I always tell people on this show is you need to find the person that appreciates how great you are, and just realize that you're awesome, and somebody out there is going to see that. And just because these girls don't see it, who cares? It just means they're not the right girls for you.
Yeah.
So keep your chin up. Keep trying to improve yourself. Keep your eyes open, and don't worry so much. And also, too, last thing. It was a long email, so I'm going to give you a long answer. I feel like with the Tinder thing, don't go into Tinder with expectations.
No.
In fact, don't go into any relationship with expectations.
No.
Just have fun and try to keep everything light and have a fun, lighthearted connection with these people. And if deep, passionate feelings develop, cool. And if not, no skin off your back.
It was Tinder.
Yeah, it was Tinder. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Keep on swiping.
Exactly.
You'll find the right person. So thanks for your call, and good luck. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. That's our show for today. The first HeartSlayers of the new year. I think it's a good one. 2018. It's going to be a good year for everybody. 2017 is gone. We can forget about it. I want to say thank you to everybody who is a patron on the Mega 64 Patreon. For just $1, you get to see these HeartSlayers episodes 1 week early. I also want to give a big thank you to everybody who watches us on YouTube and leaves a comment in the comment section. A lot of good advice is there in the comment section on all of these issues. If you have a hot take on any of today's issues and you want to get your opinion in on it, please leave a comment on the YouTube channel. If you want to follow us for any updates or just see what's going on in our life, you can follow us on Twitter. You can find me at Goose Toffo.
And I'm at Furnace Woods.
Yes, and we will return in 2 weeks because we take calls every 2 weeks here at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can Skype us at Mega64 Podcast or email the issue to podcast@Mega64. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.